Hello again, I'm Coyote Jack. I'm now going to read you a piece of cringe. And just by hearing on the title, EA CEO claims Dragon Age the Drag Queen Age the failhard failed due to lack of live service elements. Andrew Wilson, you never change. EA CEO Andrew Wilson has claimed that BioWare Action's role-playing game Drag Queen Age failed due to lack of live service elements. During the Electronic Arts Q3 of current year earnings conference call, CEO Andrew Wilson expressed disappointment with the company's financial performance during the quarter. Yeah, but well, that's your performance. That's the fucker's performance every single year. I wonder how he managed to keep still inside that company managing. Well, at this point, well, it's EA. They they already did this to themselves. So he brought out lower than expected performance of EA Sports FC franchise as one of the reasons. And I heard that one. The EA Sports FC, they don't like that game push the mixed male and female teams, and at the end of the day, those games are still being bought up by fanboys of the real sport because they want to see their idealized players. And since the main focus to push for the microtransactions and nickel a dime every single one of those fanboys is by putting those, of course, loot boxes or card packs. Is like what they bitch about gacha games nowadays, but with a full price game. On top of that, those microtransactions to get their favorite player, even if they get the chance to. But what happens when you mix both men and women in those teams? So they don't tolerate that. They know how women perform in the soccer sport. Even the lowest of the low man play. Man seems like, I don't know, someone from Europe to give you an example. Those ones, they're still shout out the champions of the champions of women's team. So without the way, they decided to unbalance the stats of said characters, said people, making women more skilled than men, and they don't like that. Of course, EA Sport FC is already flopping. I know it is because they also lost a name, but also if they actually stick to continue on with this DEI nonsense, well, they still perform like they used to after all those years, but not anymore. They fuck up and continue on reading you this. As one of the reasons, he also mentioned it that while Drag Queen Age Failhard launched successfully and received strong reviews from both critics and players, it struggled to attract a broad player base in an increasingly competitive market. More like chasing the previous customer of the first entries away. See what these fucking CEOs always says and do. It's everyone else is at fault but me. That's why this company even deserves to go bankrupt even further. No redeemable aspect of all of this. He revealed that the game engaged around 1.5 million players during quarter 3 of current year, falling short of almost 50% of what he had expected. So we also let's not forget that all the money they invested, all the cost of development, just to push the AI with those writers, and they, of course, it needed to sell millions. But now, yeah, EA, aside of even also EA, Ubisoft, all those overspending budget products, oh, excuse me, over expensive slop, they keep pushing. It's so fucking expensive. And of course, people finally start growing some standards. And of course, those at the end of the day, they are going to flop. Even if you say, oh, but 1.5 million copies is still too much. Not for that budget. It was an indie game that only costed like, in the most astonishing way, just $10K, $10,000, and it sold 1.5 million copies. Those that people is already millionaire. It, it's already a success. Ah man. Oh, well, here we are. So regarding Drag Queen H. Felhard inabilities to reach a wider audience, ah man, Wilson said the games must align with the changing expectations of players. What changing expectations? You, if you're telling me changing expectation is lowering expectations, the expectations are low, and with that expectations being near the floor are exactly even more lower when you end up producing to apparently achieve set standards. How, what kind of level of delusional is at this point? Oh man, this is just sad and pathetic. So, of players who prioritize quote unquote share world features and deeper engagement. So this is are the buzzwords from CEOs to tell you we need to listen to the Twitter mob that always brag about my pronouns. Well, go for it. Let's see how that works in current year, alongside compelling narratives. And that should be in quotes because holy fuck, this part, how they fuck up. And now, well, those writers, they got hired by Ghost of Yore. So even if they're falling backwards because the AAA industry in general is just overfilled with nepotism from the left or from these ideologues. It's just co-opted to the point that even if you say, yeah, those fuckers finally went away from the company and they're not going to destroy the IPs I like any further or more than what they already are destroyed. They are going to replace it with competent people? No, because they still have same ideologues, giving you chances through HR department. With the triple A legacy industry and the state it is, they are still going to hire all the same fucking idiots that ruined everything. So at that point, what is the reason to keep spending money through them, even if that game is at a lower cost? Why would I submit myself to torture just so say, yeah, but if you don't play it, you're not going to profit? It's actually come on, go fuck off with that shit. Pan recognition is a thing. You probably already heard that before. To continue on. In other words, he expected the game to have more successful if it featured live service elements. Yeah, because already a $70 game. Now we need to add microtransactions to in the more with the progression of free to play. Man, I have played already. Said I played Nike, I played Blue Archive. Those gacha games, free to play monetization, free to play progression, and with Nike I already beat it the story mode. I already leveled 329 being a free to play player. I'm not a gacha world. And got engaged in that game because every 2 weeks, or at least from every 2 weeks to every month, they launch an update with story content to keep me engaged. And with the rates of those gacha games, well, if you, exception to the exception of Blue Archive, yeah, Nikke gives me better ratings. And I already got the characters, and I'm not missing almost any of the content. And in fact, well, I lost the Jason Man collab. I couldn't get the SSR characters from the Evangelion collab, but still, they gave me content. I have for the most part of the characters, and I feel far better rewarded. And thanks to the gacha wells that keep supporting that game because they know those guys know what is good. That people know what is good, and we can't say the same thing for something like Drag Queen H Failhard. And now, just like I want to repeat again, $70 game with free to play progression, microtransactions, and a dog shit story that is just about lecturing me and make every single character being insufferable as possible towards the one that is playing it. But why would I submit myself to that kind of torture? I have to ask the question again. And everyone needs to do that once in a while, considering how they keep doubling down. They say they are not going to stop. Ironically, Drag Queen Age, the Failhard, originally started off as a live service game, as revealed by the game's co-director Corinne Bush and John Hepler. Ultimately, however, they pivoted to be a single player experience. Bush said that she felt very supported through this decision by BioWare and EA. According to her, it's intimidating to buck to the trends in an era where it feels like almost every game must be an open world. Nah, even that's a lie. Not all games should be open worlds. Even one of the indies games that capitalized over an already existing idea, Vampire Survivor. And then you have the free version with Hollow-like characters, Hollow Cure. They they proved those games to even to this day, despite that they were indies chasing on a trend, they didn't chase on the trend of open worlds. No, they were like focusing on gameplay. And just because even with those games, there is an aspect of video games that is already dying, which is the survivor cooperative mode. And you can point and say, yeah, but Call of Duty with zombies, no, that's not a real thing. You have hours and hours, okay. What other game aside of Call of Duty has been doing that and people actually praise it instead of complaining? Because what I see from every single entry of Call of Duty, the people keeps complaining and complaining and complaining, and you oftentimes just hear the these they're just some fucking babies. They don't know what they want anymore, and they go back and play the old stuff. Call of Duty Black Ops 2, even though they call them poor. At this point, what do you care if they call you poor? Those mods were fine, and people are still praising those older games, all those older entries. And then Vampire Survivors comes in, and then Holocure steps in too, and they're being praised because, well, this is an already existing mode in a different well, in the most of the older layout 2D, and people are enjoying it. They are not bitching about it because what they offer with the gameplay, the characters, even if it's not like something over extremely involved and like say compelling stories, telling her stories, just like this fucking Nadia will say to you. No, they focus at first on making good gameplay. And if they keep adding content and it is actually story mode, they need to figure out how to make it likable. And going back to my main example with gacha game Nikke, They added so many good mini games that are tied to the lore of the events and the story. Funny to play, to replay. They even added the holocure there. It's called Mog, and that's what the aspect. These fucking idiots. If you at this point, I'm just going to stop ranting here. They already told you that they don't know even how to listen to customers anymore. And by customers, I really mean the real customers, which is our gamers. They don't know how to. They made it at every single instance to chase them away. And they are telling you, yeah, it's because we didn't go full live service. I was telling them that I needed to go live service. Live service always works. Multiversus flop. And it started as a free to play, but well, management similar to EA, but instead of EA is Warner Brothers. They're shutting down that game. It's not coming back. Oh man, this is this is the current state of AAA. They don't want to face accountability. They always run away from the consequences of their own actions, blaming it on everyone but themselves, and always being tone deaf with statements like this. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a pretty good day, and please take care.